Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm using a previously resin stone. It looks a little patchy because I'm actually using the bottom of it. I resined the wrong side. So I had some little bumps on the bottom that I had to sand off. And now I'm making a circle. And because my surface is resined, I'm using an erasable marker in my compass so that I could make a circle. But you can find a lid or something around your house. You can find something circular and make a circle without having to use a compass if you don't have one. Now I've used gold to outline my circle so that I can see it really well. And now I'm filling in the center with black, but I want to keep my center. So you can see I've put like a black circle around my center where my compass was, so that I know pretty much where I want to place my beautiful lotus flower. That's what we're going to be doing today. And I'm going to be using some really cool, you guys have seen these already. They are watercolor. These ones are handmade color shift watercolor paints. And they are from, I don't know how to pronounce it, Iule, IUILE, .etsy.com, and I will have all that information in the description of the video. They are beautiful, beautiful watercolor paints. If you've ever used metallic paint, this is metallic on a whole different level. Okay, it is highly pigmented, very, very glittery watercolor paints, and you don't see through them like you normally do with watercolor. Well, you can. It depends on how much water you add. But if you're really careful not to add too much water, you have very highly pigmented, beautiful, beautiful metallic colors. It's so gorgeous, and it is a color shift. It's absolutely beautiful. So I told you I was going to show you a few more of these beautiful watercolor paint tutorials, and this one is going to be a good one. So you can sketch it on with pencil first. I'm doing a lotus flower. There's going to be a couple of leaves coming from the bottom and a stem. If you guys know what the meaning of a lotus flower is, I'm going to read it to you right from the Googler. So the lotus flower is regarded in many different cultures, especially in Eastern religions, as a symbol of purity, enlightenment, self-regeneration, and rebirth. Its characteristics are perfect analogy for human condition. Even when its roots are in the dirtiest waters, the lotus produces the most beautiful flower. So I thought that would be pretty cool. You guys have seen me do a lotus flower before. If you haven't, I will put that link in the description of this video as well. This one looks a little different from the one that I did before. So I hope you guys like this. Beautiful meaning behind it, as well as some of my favorite colors. I love berry colors, pink colors, purple colors. I like all sorts of color, but I'm going to be using some of my favorite colors today without using purple, because purple is actually my favorite color. But today I'm going to be using these watercolor paints, and they're just so beautiful. But what I actually did was I forgot to press record while I was painting it. So here's the watercolor palette right here that I got from Etsy. Like I said, the link will be in the description. It's this company right here. And these are the color shift quarter pans. They're quarter pans, and they're just so beautiful. Anyway, if this looks like a different rock, it's because it is. I forgot to hit record, and I painted my lotus flower with these paints, and you didn't get to see it. So I made a whole fresh one really, really quick, just so you could see me do this part, and then it'll be ready back on the other rock that we started with, because we're going to be doing 2 coats of this once it's dry. So you're going to see this coat here on a different rock, but the actual second coat's going to be on our original stone that we've been working on the entire time. So this is just to show you what it looks like while I'm painting it on, just using a little bit of water with a paintbrush. I just pour a little bit of fresh water into a paint pan and off we go. Rinse off your paintbrush before you switch colors. And I guess you can decide really how transparent you want it to be, but I don't want it to be transparent. We're going to be doing 2 coats. So don't pay attention to this rock very much. I'm just showing you the application of it all. It's super easy. Just like any other watercolor, you add a little bit of water, you get the paint wet, you can see the glitter in the pigment and it's just so beautiful. This looks like it's gold, but it's actually got like a green hue to it. And you'll be able to see that a little bit better once we put the second coat on. So ignore this rock. It's going to go bye-bye. And then poof, there's our original rock after I've given it 1 coat of watercolor paint. Now that I've remembered to hit the record button. Thank you, everyone. Welcome. Hit subscribe, please. Hit subscribe. Or the like button or the don't like button. Either way. I want to know what you think. Now, this is my second coat. First coat's dry. It looks like this when it's dry. It looks absolutely amazing. And when you shift it, it just looks like this really, I don't know even how to explain it, like a velvet metal. That's the best way for me to describe what this looks like once it's dry. It looks like velvet metal. Okay? I have coined that term. So it looks beautiful. And I have done it on a pre-resined rock with a black background that's acrylic paint. If you add too much water, you might lift up your black paint. So try to go easy on it and make sure your black paint is totally dry before you start this. But I like to start with a black background on a lot of my things. You guys have been around long enough to know. She sent me a free sample of these little dot cards, and they have different samples of all the different types of watercolor paints that she has available. And so I'm trying some of the green right now. I just added a little bit of darker green to some areas of the leaves and the stem. Now I'm outlining everything again with gold because you know that water likes to run sometimes. So once it's dry, I'm going to go over it all just with a gold outline. And then once that gold outline is dry, I'm going to also outline it in black. And we're going to separate all these petals from one another because right now they just kind of look flat. But we're going to separate them using the black paint and give them their own individuality. What do you guys think so far? It's beautiful. And you can do so many things inside of a little framed circle like this, and it'll look so elegant. These watercolors are just so different from what I'm used to, even from metallic paint. So they're very, very fun. But in no way am I forcing anyone to go out and spend money. Please don't ever think that that's what I'm doing. A lot of people think that, well, she's creating all this stuff. She probably gets it given to her so she can promote the company. I've paid hundreds for just the stuff I used on this rock today. Okay. So, like with the resin that I use and the paint that I'm using, all of that stuff, the beautiful rock that I went an hour and a half away to search for along a beach, like all of these things cost me money. Nobody's giving them to me. Okay. So, I want you to know that I'm not going to force you to spend money. And if you're seeing me use it here, it's because I bought it. Okay. I'm not being sponsored and given stuff for free. So I don't recommend things as well unless I know they're like great quality. And these are definitely worth every penny. I promise. So yes, the link for this Etsy shop will be in the description of my video. And think about all the things that you can create with all of these beautiful metallic paints. You can just use acrylic paint that is metallic, and it will probably give you a similar look, but it won't give you the velvet metal look that this has. And once it's resined, it's going to look even more beautiful. So we will see that. This time, normally I do a what's at your desk. There's going to be something different this time. But for now, we're going to start with the dots. I am dotting the outer edge with a nice dark berry wine mixed with a little bit of magenta. So it's not quite the color of the lotus flower, but it accentuates it nicely. Now I'm going to add a little row of magenta. You're going to see that just slightly lighter than that berry wine mixed with magenta. These paint colors will be listed in the description as well. The gold paint and the black paint will be in there as well. Now you can use the end of your paintbrushes for dots. You can use toothpicks for dots. You can use crochet hooks on the end. Or you can buy dotting tools, nail dotting tools from places like Walmart or Amazon. You can buy them all over the place. But I'm just using one size, and I'm not really worrying about how big the dots are. But once I go towards the lotus a little bit more, my dots are a little bit smaller. So I run out of paint and the dots get a little bit smaller, but I don't really want to go right to the lotus. We're going to leave it kind of floating in black space, but those dots are in the frame, if you know what I mean. Now, I'm not going to be going too extravagant with the stuff around the outside of the frame. It's going to be really simple. I'm going to use a little bit of holographic pink chrome using gel nail polish that you have to cure under a UV light. You guys have seen me do this before. But basically, I'm just going to chrome up some dots after everything's dried, and we're not going to do too much. I'm not going to complicate the outside too much, but you can definitely do like a whole work of art, like some mandala designs and stuff like that all around the outside. Totally up to you. I'm just going to string like a chain of gold dots from dot to dot. That's pretty much all I really want to do here. And then I'm going to add some black dots on top of the dots that you see that are gold right now, the bigger ones. I'm going to add a black dot to those, and then some pink holographic chrome to those dots. So you'll see, I'm just being simple with it, but it looks really nice. It looks kind of like chain. Chain is hanging from each dot, and it looks really intricate. And I think it looks really pretty. But it's a nice simple design for a frame, that's for sure. You can do it on all your stuff, and you can choose what kind of thing you want to put inside. But you can definitely get some inspiration using some of these metallic paints. Oh my gosh, they're so beautiful. I never thought I would use watercolor on rocks, honestly, but now that I've started, I'm never going to go back. I just purchased some more of them so that I have more colors. So yeah, we're going to use this UV light, and I'm literally just using nail polish UV gel top coat. It's a clear coat. I put a dab of it on top of my black dots once those black dots were dry. And then I cure it under the UV light. And then I use like a little makeup eyeshadow sponge and scrub on the holographic flakes. And then I brush it off with my desk broom. And then we have some beautiful little shiny dots that, you know, sometimes I put Swarovski crystals around it. Sometimes I just put a little dab of glitter depending on what color I'm using. Or I do this, which is, you know, a little more complicated, but the end result is really pretty, and it just has like a nice little shine to it. Gives it a nice little thing. So I told you I was going to normally show you what's at my desk, but this time I wanted to show you a beautiful rock that I'm sending down to a little girl who is missing, and her name is Summer Moon Utah Wells. She went missing from Hawkins County in Rogersville, Tennessee on June 15th this year from her home on Ben Hill Road. And if you have any information, please pause this video and write this information down so that you can contact any information that you have regarding this beautiful little girl. I'm sending this down to a rock garden in her name down in Hawkins County, and hopefully if we can all pray together that she is found, I would really appreciate it. I know I don't normally do this, but certain cases touch my heart and I want to share them. So here's our beautiful lotus flower all resined up after a little resin bath. I'm telling you, it looks like velvet metal. Look at that. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it looks soft and beautiful. And, you know, we just created something out of a rock. So I think that this lotus has quite a bit of meaning. We can't forget about the one that I showed you earlier that I had to work on because I simply forgot to hit the record button. But you know what? We ended up with twins. We ended up with two beauties, and now they're both going into my Etsy shop. That link will be in the description of this video as well. I can't wait to paint with you guys again. It won't be long, I promise you. I have a whole list of things we're going to do. Please pray for Summer Moon Utah Wells in any way that you know how. That would make me feel really happy. I can't wait to send her rock down to her rock garden. Until then, keep painting. I love you guys. Bye.